Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm going to go through my empties before my bag becomes overflowing. We're getting like 3/4 of the way full, and I want to definitely be able to give you some good in-depth reviews of products before I have too many to do that for. So thank you for making the time to watch today. I'm going to link as many of these in the description bar down below as possible so that you can try them if you're interested. I'm going to start with a shampoo and conditioner duo that I've been using recently, and it's from Maui Moisture. This is the Heal and Hydrate with Shea Butter, and this is for really dry hair. I have really dry curly hair, and so having a duo like this in the shower has been really great. I've really enjoyed using this duo enough to repurchase it. I think it's done a lot of great things for my hair. I don't feel like the shampoo is too stripping for my hair, and I really like the hydration I'm getting from the conditioner. This has shea butter, coconut oil, macadamia nut oil in it, and is free of silicones, mineral oil, sulfites, surfactants, no dyes. Anyway, so it's got some really good stuff, especially if you're doing the curly girl method. This little duo here would be fantastic. All right, I did pick up a couple of different curl products. One of them was this. This is the Mix Chicks Curl Sculptor. This is a fast, weightless curl gel. It's okay. I do have another tube of it because I bought two for the price of one when I got them. So I think it's okay. It does dry really fast. If you're looking for a gel that's going to help your hair dry really quickly, this one certainly will. And it has some things in there that helps to moisturize your hair. I do find that I don't get as much curl and bounce with this. My hair, I was using this when I styled my hair yesterday, and I feel like you can still see some of my curls, but it doesn't hold as well. It's something that's a little bit heavier duty for my hair texture. One thing that I really like, and I have a couple backup bottles of, is from Curlsmith. It's the Hydrostyle Jelly Flex, or Flexi Jelly. I always say that wrong. But this is a really great soft hold without losing the curl, and it really does hold amazingly well. This is a lightweight styling gel for wavy or curly hair. Has hyaluronic acid, thyme leaf, white cedar, green tea, and lavender flowers in there. It's a medium hold. It's not like the highest hold that you can get from Curlsmith. And I find that in the summertime, because my hair happens to be just a little, it dries really quick, I have to make sure I use something with a little bit lighter hold to it, because if not, it ends up super crunchy because it just dries like that. So I've really been liking this Flexi Jelly from Curlsmith. This has been fantastic. All right, that's all the hair stuff. Let's move on to skincare. I am done with this, and I really liked it. This is from Peach and Lily. It's our Glass Skin Face Polisher. It's a face wash, but it's a dry face wash, so you're chipping out like little grains of sand. You mix it with a little bit of water, turn it into a lather and a paste, and it exfoliates physically very gently at the same time as going through and washing your face. So you get a lather out of it, and you get a little bit of exfoliation, and I love it, and I want to get another one. Something that I've had for such a long time and I keep repurchasing over and over is just the original version of the Clean It Zero Balm from Banilico. This has been one of my favorite balm cleansers. I go through, like, this is the big tub. My kids and I all wear makeup, and so the three of us, we just go through makeup remover like nobody's business. And this cleansing balm is one of our favorites that we're constantly reaching for. I have another one open right now. I've gone through countless jars of this. I try and get it when it's 40% off at Ulta, but I have paid full price for it, and I really like it. I feel like it does just as good a job as some of the ones that are a little bit more expensive, and I don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Here's the sunscreen I've been using recently. This is the American version of the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen. I did finally get my hands on the Korean version, which I like a little bit better. This is only SPF 40. I got it because for a while you couldn't get any Beauty of Joseon anywhere, like the ones from Asia. And when I finally was able to get some, I was like, oh, hooray. But I love this sunscreen. I think it's really beautiful. I do prefer the Korean version as compared to the American version. And if you're curious which is which American version only has SPF 40 in it. But I like how cosmetically elegant it is and how nicely it sits on the face under makeup. That's my big, big thing. All right, one of the serums that I love and repurchase regularly is the Glow Maker from Maylove. This is a vitamin C serum. It has vitamin C, vitamin E, has ferulic acid in it. It's very similar in formula to SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. And that, for years, I tried it for years, and it was great, but it was $180 some odd, and I was like, this is too expensive. So when I found this, I have been using this ever since, and I really, really like it. I have noticed I'm dealing with a lot more melasma and hyperpigmentation since I'm in perimenopause right now. The hot flashes are just bringing all of the hyperpigmentation to my face, and I'm just like, I'm trying to get my hot flashes under control. But I feel like I would be in a much worse position if I wasn't using this Glow Maker from Maylove. All right, another serum that I finished, and this is the jumbo size of the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. I like this so much. This is one of my favorites. I'll tell you a funny story. This used to be one of the products that they would have during the 21 Days of Beauty at Ulta. And there was one year, this was like 6 years ago, I was in the hospital. I had just had my gallbladder removed, and I'd had some complications. So I had to spend 5 more days in the hospital and have 3 more surgeries to get it fixed. And right before I was going to go into surgery, I locked myself in the bathroom in my hospital room with my phone so I could order it, because it was the same day that I was supposed to have like surgery to help fix my problem, that this was on sale and I was not going to miss it. I love this stuff so much. It's like a drink of water for your face, and it's more than a drink of water. It hydrates without being heavy, so it feels like a drink of water, but it definitely has more hydrating properties than water has. But it's very lightweight. That's why I liken it to like a drink of water. But it is so beautiful. It does add a nice glow. If you put too much on and you have combo skin like I do, I have oils in my T-zone, this can get a little glowy. But if you don't put too much on, you find out what the right amount is for you. For me, it's 2 pumps. I love this stuff morning and night. Morning and night. All right. This is something that was sent to me from Merit. This is their Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. This is not just a moisturizer, but they're wanting you to use this as a priming step right before you put your makeup on, and you're supposed to do it within like 60 seconds. And so I had to leave this here on my beauty desk because I had it for a while in my bathroom, and I felt like I really noticed the difference between putting it on and waiting 15-20 minutes, getting dressed, all of the stuff that I normally do out of the shower, and then sitting down to put my face on, as opposed to putting it on and within 60 seconds adding foundation on top. And it really helped to prime my skin and really hold on to my makeup much better than if I let it dry down all the way. But I like this. I do have another bottle of this. It's not my absolute favorite moisturizer. That goes to the Crave's Great Barrier Relief, but I do like it and I have been using it. Here's another product I'm actually considering getting a refill of. This is from Estee Lauder. This is the Revitalizing Supreme Night. I have very little left. I have like maybe 2 nights left in here, maybe 3. But what I like about this is that it comes in refillable pods. So I could get the pod and not have to spend for the full jar, and it's less packaging, and it's one of those. So I'm thinking about getting this again. I got this last year in one of the beauty boxes during the holidays, but I didn't start using it until about March, and I've been using it every night since March, and man, I really like it. It's lasted a long time because I don't use that much. I need very little, but this is a really lovely, if you like a night cream, you might like this one. I find that it is a little bit more emollient, a little bit more of almost like a barrier cream on my face, especially in colder weather. It's very, very soothing. And I have to use even less of it in the summertime, otherwise it feels like it's a little too heavy. So it is on the heavier side of things, but it still does work for my combo skin. All right, I finished up a lot of lip stuff. One of them was this. This is from Make Beauty. This is their Pink Matter Lip Balm. You know, it was okay. I had it for a long time, and the reason I had it for a long time is because I didn't fall in love with it. And the things that I fall in love with, I can't stop using, and the things that are just kind of like, well, it was okay. That's what this was. It was in the mid 20s when I bought it several years ago. I think it was like 2 years ago. So I don't know that I'm going back for this. It's not a bad product. It just didn't hit the way I wanted it to, and it didn't make me have to use it. Now, what does make me have to use it, and I have spread all over the house, are my Balm.coms. So I have a biscotti, an espresso, and a strawberry, and I've gone through all of them. Packaging has changed on this. Before they put the new slant tip on here, because they went from an original version that came in where you had to squeeze it out and use your finger to apply, to a vegan version with the slant tip applicator. But I've noticed that the packaging itself is different, because I used to be able to flatten it all the way and it would stay flattened, and now it doesn't. And so I'm never sure that I'm getting everything out of here like I used to. I used to just like will all of it out. And I feel like I've done that with these guys, but I still feel like there's stuff in here. So I'm kind of bummed that the packaging has changed. It doesn't stay as collapsed as something like this, you know, where you get all the way down to the bottom and you can fold it over and squeeze the rest of it out. I used to be able to do that with the old packaging, but not this. But hey, I'll take it because it's the original formula in all my favorite shades, in an easy way to apply with a slant tip. But yeah, this is the lip product that I go through again and again and again and again. It is one of those that has petrolatum in it. It has beeswax in it. It has lanolin in it. So it's a really great barrier on your lips. And it does hydrate, but something that I would definitely keep in mind, that this is not for somebody who's vegan. And it's definitely not for somebody who doesn't like a slightly, almost like Vaseline-y type feel on their lips. Just keep that in mind. All right. For the makeup, I went through a couple of masks. These have been done with for a while, and I forgot to put them in my empties. But these are both from Sweed Beauty. They sent these to me, and I really like their formula. The one that I liked and used the most was their Cloud Mascara. And it has a silicone molded brush with really teeny tiny little bristles on it that catch every single hair. These are both in brown, and I love their brown color formula. It's so good. The other one I liked a lot was their Pro Lash Lift Mascara, because this is like, it has little teeth on it just on one side, and you're like right in there at the lash pushing up. This is a great job. I really like the shade of brown that it is. It is a deep brown black, like an espresso black. It definitely has brown tendencies to it without being too warm. And I really, really like that about it. I think they're both great formulas. They're traditional formulas, so they're not a tubing formula. Neither one of them flaked. Neither one of them raccooned on me. They stayed on all day. I really like them, and I would repurchase. All right, here's one. I could tell this one's my daughter's. She loves the Sky High waterproof from Maybelline. She goes through tubes of this. This is her favorite mascara, and she says it holds her curl like nothing else. And everybody always asks her if she's wearing falsies when she's got it. Sometimes she is, but usually it's just that mascara being awesome. All right, here's another one that I like. This is the Panorama. I think this is like the noir version or the night version. Anyway, it's from L'Oreal. This is a great drugstore mascara. Another one of those with kind of like a conical wand with a rubber bristle, a real short rubber bristle to grab all of the hairs. It does a fantastic job. This is supposed to be a wash-off mascara. I always think there's a difference between wash-off mascaras and tubing mascaras. Tubing mascaras should come off in tubes where you get them wet with warm water and they just slip right off your lashes. Washable mascaras, I think, are different than like a traditional formula where you want to use something to break them up. This is halfway between the two. Some people say this is a tubing mascara. This does not tube. She does not tube. But does she move? No. This and the original gold tube of Panorama, it stays on, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't flake, but I find them more difficult to get off than like a traditional formula, like something like this, and then a tubing formula. This washable. Anytime I try a washable formula from the drugstore, I've never had really good success with them. So I don't know that I want to rebuy this, but I love what it does. I love how it holds my lashes. It holds the curl really well. It doesn't flake, doesn't smudge. It does all the things that I want, but the removal process, I sometimes lose lashes taking this off. So that's why it's not my favorite. That's why I'm such a sucker for tubing mascara. A little warm water and it just slides right off. I'm wearing one today. I wear one most days just because it's just so easy. This has been one of my new favorites. This is from Merit. This is their Brow 1990, and it's a double-ended. There's no pencil left, but it's a small 1mm pencil. It's like a nano pencil, and I love that. I like the spoolie on here where it's not too harsh. Sometimes a spoolie will be so scratchy and aggressive that it takes off the color. This blends it in really nicely. I have another one of these open. I love a micro pencil, and this one is really good. I wear the shade dark brown, and I was so sad when I discovered that one of my Pat McGrath eyeliners, I actually had it too long that it started shrinking and drying, and it is no longer easy or comfortable to apply to the eye. This one is in the shade Black Coffee, but it's a really pretty color. It's a really nice dark brown. I know this shade is one of those. I have one that's similar to this from Pat McGrath that I'm using right now. I feel like if I'm spending money on an eyeliner, I'm more likely to get the Persona liner than this one from Pat McGrath. I purchased another Pat McGrath one because I was hoping it would be like a really pretty kind of taupey shade. It was described as a taupe, and it turned out to be more of a dark brown. I'm looking for a taupe liner, but I like this liner. It's just expensive in the mid-20s or high 20s. When I feel like I can get just as good performance out of a Persona one for $16 to $18. So that's just my preference, but I do like this, but not enough to have like finished it and turned it down to a little teeny tiny nub. Those were all of my empties. Here's where I want to know, what products do you perpetually repurchase? What sorts of things make your daily life just a little bit easier? What things are you so in love with you've gone to extremes to get them? Let me know what those products are in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what your constant repurchases are. Now, if you've tried a product recently that's new to your collection and it just didn't work for you, also want to hear about that, because it kind of helps steer us, away from something and maybe into something else. Or maybe the reason it didn't work for you would be the perfect reason for it to work for me. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for making the time to watch today. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.